Hello, Wizards has made announcements at Gen Con, bringing back Dark Sun, licensing World of Warcraft. They're doing a Legends program, bringing in the likes of Luke Gygax, Joe Magniello, Weiss and Hickman, and they might be making a mistake. Let's break it down today on Tabletop Taproom. Hi, I'm Tom. This is Tabletop Taproom. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget that like, subscribe, bell icon. Now, TSR did this very thing back in the 2E era. You had a plethora of settings. You had Dragonlance, Forgotten Realms, Birthright, Ravenloft, Dark Sun, Planescape, and what it did to the D&D audience in the mid-1990s was it fractured it. Instead of having one great big fire hose putting out content, when you start to fracture your audience that way, you've got people who are interested in Birthright, but they're not so interested in Ravenloft. Or they might be interested in Forgotten Realms, but they're not going to buy your Dark Sun product. So the sad fact is that the cost of writing, editing, artwork, layout is the same regardless. And so when you limit yourself to only a portion of your audience, you're not getting the return on investment. And this is what WotC is setting themselves up for. On top of that, you've got great third-party people publishing for the nostalgic fans of Dark Sun. This is Shadow Sun. Came out a couple years ago. It's a platinum bestseller. And new Kickstarter coming with a whole new color cover, a player's guide, DM's guide, atlas, map. It's and it looks like it's going to be worth the buy-in. That's being produced by Chubby Funster, and he's got a lot of top-selling drive-through credits to his name, a Mithril bestseller, several platinum. So the guy's not a slouch, okay? And let's stop and ask the question, because I've said it. There's no innovation happening in corporate gaming. That's not where the innovation is. The innovation is with third-party publishers, because you're going to get somebody like Chubby Funster who's going to go, hey, let's try this. And corporate would be like, well, we're not sure if you could do that. Maybe we should check with the lawyers. Maybe we should check with the social police. Consult the board of Karens. Is this something we really should do? We don't know. You get that. And so they worry about doing something where somebody like Chubby Funster will just go, that sounds cool. Let's put that in the book. So, and you've got to stop and think, what is really going to happen here with WotC? The prediction is that what they're doing now, this is the first shot across the bow of what they did with Magic the Gathering. Just licensing setting and just great. So it worked for Magic the Gathering because people were buying Magic cards who don't normally buy Magic cards, but they're a Spider-Man fan. They're a collector of Spider-Man product and memorabilia. So that was more monetization, and that worked for Magic the Gathering. Is it going to work with Dungeons and Dragons? I just don't see that working. I mean, there are Marvel fans out there. Did they go out and buy Marvel Superheroes RPG? I don't think so. I don't see that happening. So what I expect to happen with WotC is, and we got to remember, we live in the day and age of dwarves baking cookies wearing Birkenstocks and Hispanic orcs. And they've never fully just come out and said, you know what, that was a mistake. We're sorry. We're going back to pig face orcs. Orcs are evil. No, they've not come out and said that. So they're bringing in legends, Joe Magniello, Luke Gygax, Weiss and Hickman, bringing in big names, going to pay them for their name to be attached to a product. And they're still going to have some of the same creatives who gave us dwarves and Birkenstocks baking cookies in a heroic fantasy game. Okay, look, I like cookies. I like baking. I like baking sourdough bread. Great. But I don't fantasize about wielding a two-handed loaf of bread. Oh, try my cookies. They're +1 cookies. But some of the same people that gave us foolishness in the past 4 or 5 years are still going to be at WotC, still going to be slipping their foolish stuff in under a, oh, well, but we paid for the name. We got a legend attached. We paid for a name. People are discerning. Customers are discerning. One of the most common questions I hear amongst OSR, grognards, whatever, people at conventions, why would I want to buy that? I already own AD&D rule books, and we've been playing that for 40 years and having a great time, and I don't have to give any more money to WotC, okay? But I might back a Kickstarter or two for a third-party publisher. But why do I want to bother? I'm perfectly happy with what I have and what I'm doing. People are discerning. So I think you're going to get big name, paid for, legends, and some of the same garbage in, garbage out, dwarves and Birkenstocks baking cookies, Mexican orcs. Okay, I'm sorry, you're going to get that same stuff. And then WotC's going to realize, oh my God, we have fractured our audience. We're not getting the return on investment. So then they might try, we got to reduce costs. So let's try AI writing, AI art, AI layout to reduce costs and increase our return on investment. And that's not going to work because people are discerning customers and they're going to just look at it and go, that seems like slop. Okay, we've all seen AI slop in the past couple of years, and it's not impressive. And who's going to pay 60, 70, 80 bucks for a hardcover full of slop? AI slop, badly laid out, bad art, people with 11 fingers on one hand and odd legs sticking out at an odd angle. I mean, no. I just don't see it working. I welcome Dark Sun, World of Warcraft, because here's what I know. My brother loves World of Warcraft. Great Christmas present to get him. Okay, so next year, when it's out, if it's out in time for Christmas, that might be a good Christmas gift for me to pick up for family. And if you really think the people buying Dark Sun are going to also buy World of Warcraft, these are two different psychological profiles. One is high fantasy. It's a whole different thing. The other is grim dark, surviving the end of the world. This is a different psychological profile. Yeah, there are going to be YouTube commentators who buy both so they can review both, cover the whole WotC thing. I mean, they're not going to see the return on investment, and then they're going to panic. And when something like Dark Sun underperforms, they're going to drop it. And so it won't be supported. So we're bringing it back. It's not going to pan out. And it's not big. And it's just because they're not bringing real value to the space that's going to make someone go, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I got to get that. No, they want to intersperse politics. Okay, whether it's to the left, it's been to the left, but I mean, if you kicked out everybody at Hasbro and Wizards and installed a bunch of red-hatted MAGA screaming people, and politics went in that direction, it still would hurt sales. It still would not sell. Okay. Putting politics, legacy disclaimers, that stuff in there, that just hurts your business because it irritates somebody when all you really want to do is sell product. Okay. I don't want to sell pool supplies to just Democrats. Okay. Republicans swim in pools too. If I'm selling pool supplies, I want to sell pool supplies to Republicans, to Democrats, to libertarians. And if there's a card-carrying communist out there and he buys my pool supplies, have at it, buddy. Okay, have at it. But the corporations going full corporate, oh, we got an idea. We're going to do this. So I think you can expect more of the same out of WotC that's gone in the past, more stuff that just doesn't make any sense, more legacy. They've already put that they're going to put a content disclaimer on Dark Sun. Violence. So yeah, great. It's great that they're doing that. But honestly, innovation is not at the corporate overlords. It's with third-party publishers. Shadow Sun, for use with the Shadow Dark rules. This was great. But I'm looking at the new Kickstarter from Chubby Funster, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's worth getting. Absolutely. So who's going to produce a better product? Well, with innovation being with third-party publishers, my money's on Chubby Funster. The corporation, it's going to be more of the same. And then they're going to panic when some of these projects underperform because all they're doing is fracturing the customer base. And this has been tried before and it didn't work out so well. And who can buy all that? You're going to have, 5, 6, 7, 8 settings. And okay, do they have enough staff to produce all this stuff? Or is the plan ultimately going to be AI writing, AI art, AI layout? And that's going to just show piss poor quality and kill the customer base. Because a 5e player just said this to me. I was talking with a 5e player at church, and he said to me, yeah, this whole new 5e.5 2024, I already own the books. I'm not buying new. We're good. We're good. We just write new adventures. He just writes new adventures. And he's like, I'm good. I don't need to fork over the cash. And I hear that. Increasingly. What WotC's really failing to understand is you have an environment where there's not enough DMs running games. And now you're going to put even greater pressure on those DMs to buy both settings. And then that same overworked, underappreciated DM has got to master the lore framework for each setting, vastly different, rule changes for each setting, and make sure that they're delivering the right tonal shift. Dark Sun handled wrong is going to land flat because it's got a certain tone to it. It's something else. And if you don't handle that right, it lands flat. It doesn't appeal. So they're increasing the burden on the DMs that they do have that they want to increase monetization on. The idea that fans talking nostalgically online about Dark Sun translates to thousands of buyers, well, that's a platinum seller. That means it has sold 1,001 copies. Okay. New Kickstarter coming out, gonna beat Wizards to the punch for another Shadow Sun product. And people who have bought this and who buy in on the new Kickstarter, are they likely to go, oh, geez, let me throw some really big, good money at Wizards? No, they're not going to. The nostalgia factor doesn't translate well to millions in sales. It just doesn't. When WotC panics, they're going to drop all these extra new projects because no return on investment. It's sad, but that's the future for Dark Sun under Wizards of the Coast. This is Tom for Tabletop Tap Room. That's my opinion. What's yours? Comments below. And again, I like Dark Sun, okay? But this is a mistake for WotC.